Maybe just unpack what happened, I think, with Nick and taking Oreos and his LDL came down and what a lean mass responder is, because I think people might have heard that and say, oh my goodness, Matey Thrice recommending Oreos for LDL cholesterol. But give us a little bit of a history and a background to that.
Sure. So basically, what he was doing was he was leveraging the components of the lipid energy model, which is central to our research. Lipid energy model posits that if you are on a low carb diet, and in particular, if you're metabolically healthy and especially lean, then what often happens is what happened to me. It was what got me launched into it. It's what happened to Nick. It's why he's into this. Is you see your cholesterol not only go through the roof, your so-called bad cholesterol, your LDL cholesterol. But you tend to also see this coupled with higher HDL cholesterol, the so-called good cholesterol, and low triglycerides. So this triad is what makes up what I referred to in 2017 and is now a common term for us in the literature, lean mass hyperresponders. Hyperresponder was already there before as in a hyper response of going keto and seeing your cholesterol go up. The lean mass I put on the front of it because it's just observationally typically the case
Mm.
that folks with this triad, these three together, tend to be leaner, tend to be metabolically healthier, and therefore they tend to see their cholesterol go higher. So we have a mechanistic hypothesis that's for this called the lipid energy model that we seek to explain this by. And what it comes down to is trafficking. It has to do with if you're moving more fat around in your body, then that requires a lot more of the carrier. And the major carrier of fat are called lipoproteins, appropriately because they're a combination of lipids and proteins. And they're kind of like a giant tanker, if you will, a submarine that's got a lot of cargo. And it's for all the lipids your body needs. It's not just, fuel, but it's also fat soluble vitamins and so forth. So the hypothesis is that those of us who are leaner, more metabolically healthy, we have more of our fat cells activated to both release and take back up fat so that they can continually just make it part of the buffet, if you will, that's in our bloodstream. But in so doing, they also get picked up a bit more by the liver, and the liver then synthesizes the triglycerides again, puts them back onto what's known as VLDLs, very low density lipoproteins, which are, full of these triglycerides of this fuel, which we're powered by. And then they very rapidly drop off that fuel and then turn into the very famous successor, LDL, low density lipoproteins. And so seeing more cholesterol, low density lipoprotein cholesterol, is kind of like seeing more of the emptied boats, the emptied submarines. It's just a reflection of how much cargo is being turned over on a regular basis back into the periphery. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. I know it gets a bit complicated, it's a bit
Mm.
geeky, but that's the basis. And we believe HDL and triglycerides help, they kind of give the signals to that happening. Your triglycerides, even if we believe you're powered more by it, they're low in the bloodstream for the same reason glucose would be low for an athlete who's even having a high carb diet. It's because they're utilizing it at
Yeah.
a faster rate. They're turning it over at a faster rate, right? HDL being higher is typically due to the turnover. Your HDL actually gets higher due to a higher amount of the turnover of those triglycerides into your cells. And so that triad, we believe, is a signal to what is typically somebody who's metabolically healthy and on a very low carb diet.